Okay, we're recording.
You're recording. Awesome. So welcome and thank you guys all for joining us tonight. My name is Kristen Vina. I live in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm a wife, a mom of 4, a nurse, and someone who has become very passionate about sharing what completely changed my health profile. Years ago, while I understood the medical side to disease, I became very frustrated when I couldn't figure out why I continued to feel the way I felt or why I wasn't functioning the way I knew we are all meant to function. So I decided to start learning about the why behind disease and dysfunction, and that why led me on an amazing journey. And that journey I now share with some of the absolute most amazing people, and you will get to hear from some of them tonight as well. So according to Dr. Bill Sears, a very famous pediatrician and speaker on brain health, the most rapidly growing incidence of brain and mental illness is greatest, believe it or not, in the 20 to 40-year-old age group. And in 2017, for the first time ever in history, brain illness actually became more common than heart disease. And so the purpose of this presentation is to offer awareness, education, and some solutions to a very crucial aspect of health that I believe is often missed, overlooked, or grossly underestimated. So that key component is whole food nutrition and the crucial role it plays on physical, emotional, and mental health. We are what we eat, and nutrition is one of the pillars of health that provides us all with a way to combat disease, no matter what challenges we're facing. So I'm really excited for you to hear powerful stories of depression, anxiety, and ADD. And mental health, like I like to say, is actually often the wicked sister that we as a society hide in the corner. And not enough people are talking about it, which is in part why we decided to. So I want to say thank you, Cindy and Courtney, for your willingness to be vulnerable. I really do believe that it is in our vulnerability that we allow others a glimpse into our struggles and our journeys. And it is also there that others often find hope and healing. All 3 of us decided to make one simple change that served as a catalyst for our health stories. And that one simple change was adding concentrated whole food Juice Plus to our daily diets. So I'm going to take a quick sip of water. And I'm going to share my story. And my story is one about depression. And as I shared in the beginning, my journey began by asking why. And I decided to add Juice Plus nutrition when I was searching for a way to restore the life and energy back into me after I had 3 kids. And at the time, I had absolutely no idea how I would come to see the powerful changes in my physical health and also my mental health. I had struggled with depression off and on for years, and stressful life events and pregnancies were often the trigger. However, going into my 4th pregnancy, I had the nutrition of Juice Plus fueling my body and my brain. That pregnancy was the only pregnancy that I was on Juice Plus. And when my 4th child was born, get this, 14 years after my first, yes, I said 14 years, I knew something had changed, but for the better. So I didn't feel like a train wreck for starters, like I did with the others. Instead, I felt absolutely amazing. And I had the mental capacity to deal with a teenager, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, a newborn, and a husband that worked very long, stressful hours. And I had little to no help. So this really would have sent me into an absolute tailspin of overwhelming depression before. And instead, I was out pushing a double stroller with an infant strapped to my chest through parks and zoos without a second thought. So my husband even noticed how I was able to thrive despite the overwhelming demands of our hectic, sleep-deprived life. So if giving a mom the life, the energy, and the mental balance isn't enough, there's actually more. In time, My Juice Plus Fuel body began to heal from psoriasis, and the most painful areas of my skin are now restored to perfection. As my immune system continued to be strengthened, my seasonal eye allergies went away, and no more red, cracked, swollen eyelids at the turn of every season. So since adding Juice Plus, I'm so thankful as a mom and a wife for the health that I've gained. And as a nurse, I now realize how many health states can be helped and prevented. Working with the Juice Plus company has given me the ability to help so many people, which I absolutely love. And it has given me what I lost years ago to depression. I'm now surrounded by some of the most positive and life-giving people. And I have valuable friendships with people I would likely never have met. I've had the opportunity to travel and do new things. And just this year, I've already been to Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Indianapolis, DC, and Arizona, which has been awesome. So the fun makes me feel like a kid again, and the company culture inspires me to be the absolutely best version of myself, as you can tell. I'm really blessed, and I thank you all for hearing my story. And now I'm going to turn it over to Courtney, who will be sharing her story about anxiety.
Thanks, Kristen. My name is Courtney Hunley. I live in Washington, D.C. with my husband and two teenage children. My journey with anxiety began about 13 years ago. Our son was 3, and I had probably been suffering from anxiety for most of my life and just moved through it, or just kept myself busy and didn't really allow myself to know that I was worried incessantly about things. But when it kind of took over and I felt like I was spinning out of control a lot and just couldn't get the worry out of my mind, I went to my physician, and he prescribed medication for me. Which I think I was resistant to medication and thought for a while that I wouldn't be on it for very long. But what I know about my brain chemistry and the history of depression and anxiety in my family is that it's real, and medication has been one thing that has been really helpful to me. About 4 years ago, our son, who also struggles with anxiety, had really been getting pretty debilitating migraine headaches for years. And so we started to look at some of the things we were doing nutritionally and really holistically to try to support him. He wasn't putting weight on. He'd come home from school, he'd throw up a few times, he'd sleep for 12 hours, and the cycle would kind of happen 2 or 3 times a week. My sister-in-law told me about Juice Plus, and we decided to give it a try. I put our son on that children's health study. And also, in addition to the trio of capsules, he started to drink the complete shakes. The headaches have all but gone away. And what we notice is that it's been the power of fruits and vegetables in capsules has really, I just think, supported his overall brain health and body health. He exercises regularly, understands the connection between exercise and kind of how to support his anxiety. We all are sleeping better. I think we recover more quickly from workouts. And we started the Omegas last October, all of us. And so I feel real peace of mind knowing that I'm getting 30 raw, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables into my kids every day before they leave the house. I couldn't do that. I couldn't get 9 to 13 servings in if I spent all day in the kitchen. And so what I really have found as a mom is that I don't feel guilty quite as much, and I'm feeling better about the fact that we're just all eating better. And I think what happens over time is the metabolic programming that occurs in our body as a result of flooding it with good whole plant food is that we start to crave more of the better things. You know, one of the things that I think I'm learning about anxiety and around mental health is that it's not a one thing fixes all. I still take medication. My son still takes it. But what we've done is we've really looked at it holistically and what are the other things that we can do to support ourselves and our overall general well-being. I think sometimes we have to reevaluate. I think sometimes we have to think about new therapies, different exercise regimens, foods that we eat. But I feel terrific in knowing that the efficient nutrition we're getting is supporting me and supporting my family. So thank you for listening, and I'm going to pass it on to Cindy.
Thank you so much. Both your stories are amazing. And so my name is Cindy Novich. I live in Dover, Massachusetts. I'm a wife, a mother of 3 teenage children, and I'm a health coach. And my journey with Juice Plus began 3 years ago. I was a frustrated mom. My kids were super picky eaters, and I really didn't know which way to turn. And when my friends shared with me that there was this Jetsons food or a salad bar in a capsule, I thought, wow, I totally need that for my family. And I got everyone started right away. And we were generally pretty healthy, but we were struggling with a few things. And just off the bat, myself, I noticed things that I didn't really expect to happen for myself, but I had more energy, and I was able to get rid of my seasonal allergies. I had no idea that could happen. So that was really great just on my own. And 2 of my kids were no longer constipated. They were always dealing with irregularity. And so that was another component. But the big things as a mother that weigh on you is when your kids are unhappy or struggling. And 2 of my kids were dealing with something that was really worrisome to me. And my son was dealing with ADHD, and we put him on Adderall, and it did help him. And so we were happy about that. But what was difficult is that I saw that when he would go to school, if I packed him a lunch or whatever, he would come home with a full lunch bag, or he wouldn't eat at school because he didn't have an appetite. And while the pediatrician said, well, maybe that's okay for him because he was a little bit overweight, because some kids that go on a medication for Adderall or for ADHD, they end up, they might be on the thinner side, and then you worry that they're too thin. Well, in his case, that wasn't the case. However, when I learned a lot more about nutrition and how the body and the brain, the gut and the brain are connected, you need to fuel your gut while you're at school or trying to get through your day or a work day or whatever it is. And so, here he was going to school not eating, and his brain wasn't being fueled. So I was so happy when we added the nutrition of Juice Plus. He was getting 30 fruits and vegetables in his body with the capsules, and then giving him the shakes was another 14 plants. So at least he was getting that in his system before he left for school. And then I started hearing about people who eventually could possibly wean themselves off of their medication. And I thought, well, we did that over the summer every year anyway. So I talked to the pediatrician and said, I really want to try this. And he said, let's get through the school year, which was his freshman year of high school. And we did that in the summer of, after finishing freshman year. He came off of the Adderall and then started sophomore year without any medication and was just on Juice Plus, and of course trying to, eat the best that he could. And I think exercise is a huge component for anyone, but especially a child with ADHD. So he actually got through high school. He's graduating next week, and I'm proud to say he got into all of his colleges. And I know that he's going to go off to college with this added nutrition because he's really learned that he needs this to fuel his body. And on the piece about him being a little bit on the heavier side, oh, there's my cute little boy in that picture. He last summer lost 40 pounds, and that he did on his own by taking ownership of just making himself a smoothie every day and learning that he needs to eat better and healthier. So my really picky kid is much better at making better choices. The other piece to my story is my daughter was dealing with anxiety. We started noticing it in 3rd grade for her, and it really ramped up in middle school. Those can be really tough years. And so for me as a mom, it was a really lonely and sad place because you're not happy unless your children are happy. And we worked on quite a few therapies with her: exercise, breathing, meditation, and the nutrition piece, just like her brother, was a big component with adding the Juice Plus. So she gets a smoothie every day. I pour capsules into her smoothie, and she's a freshman in high school, and she has had a really good year. And I do know with anxiety, it can creep up at different times. depending on what's happening in your life. So I know that we have that awareness, but she's also extremely aware of what she's putting into her body now and trying to work through, I think, some things that might creep up, but they aren't just showing up. So, so we are in a good place. And I love, you know, where I'm at with this company and being able to share this information with people, and just having, you know, that feel good thing about you're getting out there and giving good information to people and helping others. So happy to talk to anyone in private as well after this call or any other time. So that's my story. And now Kristen's going to share a little bit about health and wellness.
Well, thank you guys so much. I love your stories. It's so awesome to hear, particularly situations where kids are being helped. There's just something about that that is just amazing, and just so encouraging. So it's just neat to hear how nutrition supports all of us, no matter where we are in our health journey. As you can hear tonight, all of them are very, very different. So whether struggling or thriving, we really all can benefit from excellent nutrition. So as we're starting to think of everything we've heard, I'd really like to help us understand the why behind these stories. And just as Cindy mentioned, the brain, the body, and the gut are all interrelated, and we will see why we need all three to not only function, but to thrive. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. In just a second here. Okay, everybody can see okay. All right. So let's start with what we know has changed. Kids used to play outside. They ate meals cooked at home. They grabbed an apple for a quick snack. And at the end of the day, we were all tired and went to sleep. But now family dinners are replaced with fast food. Games outside are all replaced with games online. And drinks, once a treat, have become a staple. And people are struggling to get through their day. Do you identify with any of these now or back then? I know I do. So as habits and lifestyles have changed, so has our exposure to toxins. This was really eye-opening to me, something I had not really thought about a lot before. And I'd never really thought about what toxins were doing to our bodies, but also to our brains. So pollution, chemicals in and on our food, contaminants in our water, and many toxins are actually being absorbed through our skin. So think swimming pools and lawn chemicals. And in many ways, our skin is like a second mouth. And these toxins are often stored in organs and are fat. And according to Dr. Tamara Sachs, who I recently heard in DC, which was awesome, she says an average of 230 chemicals can actually be found in the umbilical cord blood of newborns today, just being absorbed and passed on from mom, which is so sad. And then she goes on to say that all of us currently have flame retardant, mercury, lead, and even rocket fuel in us through exposures over our lifetime. All I can say is wow, and how poor bodies and brains function, I will just be beyond me. So. And then we think about what else has changed. Our food quality is decreasing. We can't even pronounce many of the ingredients in our foods. We have pretty much become an unfood nation. Bodies and brains are making the best with what they're given, but it really just isn't enough. So now we are starting to realize the power of whole food nutrition, but yet again, what has changed? We now need at least 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. And athletes, anyone sick, or anyone dealing with a disease, your requirement is about 16 per day due to the increased need for antioxidants. And the requirement is going up as we see the nutrient content going down. So a serving is the size of your fist. How many servings did you eat today? I really love this slide for several reasons. It's just such a great example, even though it's a little bit depressing. Oxidative stress is linked to poor health. So thinking about what we just talked about, toxins, poor food quality, unhealthy ingredients, stress, exercise, disease, and illness, they all increase oxidative stress. And oxidative stress wreaks absolute havoc on our mental and our physical health. And our best defense against this is antioxidants. Antioxidants help our bodies to get rid of these toxins, and they also neutralize oxidative stress and slow down the aging. So here's a perfect example of oxidative stress when you look at the woman's face and also the apple. If you've ever cut an apple open before and then squeezed lemon juice on one side, it slows down that oxidation, and that's what we're seeing here. Whereas on the other side, it's exposed to air, it's exposed to oxidation, and it starts to quickly age. The same thing is going on the inside of our body when we put great food and antioxidants in our systems. So phytonutrients, that's just a really big word that basically means plant power, which is the best kind. And phytonutrients detoxify and protect. And here you can see a comparison between a multivitamin and an apple. So compare the multivitamin with 20 isolated components to the apple that has 400 known phytonutrients. And scientists are estimating that there's probably closer to 10,000 in an apple. A multivitamin is a supplement, and to supplement means to add to. It is synthetic or man-made in a laboratory, and our bodies really don't recognize synthetic nutrients the way they recognize whole food nutrients. An apple is whole food, vitamins and minerals that are naturally occurring, and the body knows exactly how to use this nutrition. And something that we often don't think about is a child can overdose on a multivitamin, which can be life-threatening, unlike the safety of eating whole foods. And we really, if you think about it, don't have a vitamin deficiency. We actually have a whole food deficiency. So Juice Plus, as mentioned in our stories, was the catalyst for change. And Juice Plus, as you can see here, is simply but yet very powerfully whole food. And whole food contains the antioxidants that we were just talking about that combats disease and helps to properly nourish our bodies and our brains. Juice Plus is not a supplement. It is not a vitamin. It is simply food. And here you see 45 concentrated superfoods with a cleaner than organic rating, third-party tested by the National Sanitation Foundation for over 850 contaminants. I do not eat anything that clean. Juice Plus products are non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, and they have 38 clinical studies and counting. These plants also act as a prebiotic to nourish and feed a healthy gut biome. And we've talked about the gut a little bit. So approximately 70% of our immune function is actually based off of a healthy gut. And 90% of our serotonin is made in the gut. I don't know about you, but I like happy hormones. And an imbalance in serotonin is associated with depression, anxiety, OCD, and even anger. So how are you fueling your body, your brain, and your gut? This is what I fuel my body with every day, which is 45 whole foods. And speaking of plant fuel, the Juice Plus complete shakes are great for brain and body fuel. They are low glycemic, which means they stabilize the blood sugar. And this is a very key component in maintaining focus, energy, and preventing mood swings. Plant protein is actually 100% absorbable, and the prebiotics, once again, feed the good guys. The complete shakes are an easy way to get healthy fast food into kids, as Cindy and Courtney both shared. They're great for adults and even the elderly, and they're very versatile. I love having one every morning for breakfast, but also sometimes as a snack. They're excellent for post-workout, and they're awesome in recipes. My absolute favorites are making complete pancakes, complete energy balls, and the complete ice cream. And this is the awesome Juice Plus Omega. One of the things I'd love to share with you is that Dr. Bill Sears has stated that postpartum depression is one of the leading causes, postpartum depression, one of the leading causes is a deficiency in omega-3s in the mom. And in the third trimester of pregnancy, that baby basically steals all the mom's sources of omegas, and they're seeing a spike. And this is something I really wish I had known. When I was actually pregnant with my fourth, the omegas had not come along, and I had no idea about this kind of research. But I can share now, which is awesome. And then an article I was reading this week by the National Institute of Health says that many studies are now linking a deficiency in omegas to major depressive disorder. And then it goes on to say that they were very excited that treatment is actually emerging using omegas for therapy. Well, the Juice Plus Omega is different from traditional omegas in some really awesome ways. And first, it is 100% plant-based, which means there is no mercury because mercury comes from fish. So no matter how wild or how Alaskan, every fish in the ocean contains mercury. And if you remember, mercury was one of those toxins that we talked about. And mercury can harm the brain, the heart, the kidneys, the lungs, and the immune system. The Juice Plus Omega has absolutely no fish burps, of course, and it has no contaminants. It is an omega blend of the omega-3s, DHA, EPA, ALA, as well as the awesome omegas 5, 6, 7, and 9 with a perfect balance and synergy. And our brains are about 50% fat. So think about all of these issues and think about how omegas are just such a great complement. Fat, I've recently learned, is one of the most prone to oxidation, which is why these plant antioxidants and Juice Plus are absolutely crucial to protect our brains. And Dr. Bill Sears calls it the crucial core four: the Juice Plus Orchard, Garden, and Vineyard, and the Juice Plus Omega. And then here I'd like to talk about what means a lot to many of us, which is our family and our kids. And the mission statement of the Juice Plus company is to inspire healthy living around the world. And the company is passionate about helping families include their children, which is why they started the Children's Health Study. Any adult that adds Juice Plus to their diets can actually sponsor a child age 4 all the way to a college-age student for up to 4 years. And that child will receive their Juice Plus for free. And as you can see here, looking at all these awesome statistics, there's a huge impact on our kids' health. And there have been an amazing over 1 million kids that have already participated. And ending the best part with my favorite part as a nurse is the research. Juice Plus is the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. If you ask Siri or Google, they will tell you Juice Plus. I've done it. It's actually pretty cool. And here you see many different universities and universities and institutes from all over the world. We see Italy, Germany, Australia, and then even close to home with Vanderbilt, Brigham Young, and even MD Anderson Cancer Institute. The studies with Juice Plus are conducted on humans in all different age groups and stages of health using the Juice Plus product. They are gold standard studies and the results cannot be bought. The Juice Plus company does not sign a gag clause like many pharmaceutical companies do, and instead they openly agree to publish all results. And the Juice Plus impact factor for those that understand research is over 110, and that is almost unheard of and extremely awesome. And then here we see the results of the research on Juice Plus, and a body properly fueled will always function better. And as we've said before, much of the physical, brain, and gut connection we experience is deep on the inside. And if you think about much of what goes on the inside, there's things that we don't feel. We don't feel a decrease in DNA damage. We don't feel our immune systems being supported and strengthened. And we don't feel a decrease in oxidative stress. But yet we do feel the health that we gain, as you heard in these stories, as a result. And according to Dr. Dubois, who has been a practicing physician for over 40 years and one of the leading authorities in infectious disease, he says, there is nothing available anywhere in the world with or without a prescription clinically proven to do what Juice Plus does. I absolutely love that. And now Courtney is going to close us out.
Thanks, Kristen and Cindy, so much for sharing your stories, and thank you for being on tonight. I really appreciate your willingness, Kristen and Cindy, to discuss how efficient nutrition and Juice Plus has played an important role, and for all of us, in stabilizing our own health and the health of our families. We know that there are a lot of people that struggle with anxiety, depression, attention disorders, and we're acutely aware of the impact that these mental health challenges can have on individuals and families. It can feel lonely, it can feel isolating, and we're not often very good about sharing our stories because for too long there's been stigma attached to it. And thankfully, and this was one of the reasons the three of us decided to do this call, is that we are beginning to come together to share outside of our homes with friends and with practitioners and communities. And this is such an important platform for people to have support around this. This is really, really important work. A year ago, I didn't know Kristen and Cindy. And because of this business and our team, we have forged friendships and alliances in a community that is just has been such a tremendous blessing in my life. And we have supported each other by holding each other accountable, by persevering through health challenges, but just through getting to know people and sharing the word about good health, by having fun and working really hard. And not only are we helping each other, we're helping other people by sharing our knowledge and our education about the amazing benefits of plant-based nutrition with people we know and people that we don't. Fruits and vegetables support a healthy immune system. We know that just by all the research that Kristen was just sharing with us. It supports strong brain function, cardiovascular health, and it provides a foundation to protect us from so many diseases that are causing inflammation in our body and causing just really not such good stuff going on in our guts. I'm so encouraged by the journey of our kids and that they are learning at a young age to educate themselves about nutrition and about proper fuel for their minds and their bodies. I wish I had known at 16 what my son knows about how to support his anxiety with holistic measures like nutrition and exercise, yoga, neurofeedback, hydration, and sleep. My diet at 16 was nothing like his, and I wish I was on the SAD diet, and I wish I had known more. And in addition to supporting our mental health journey through this business, we're changing our financial situations within our families through income that we have earned through Juice Plus. We're paying for household expenses. We're putting some renovations into our homes. We're taking family vacations that we might not have considered taking before. We're seizing on opportunities to connect with our teammates and going to conferences. And we're really dreaming about an even greater financial future for ourselves, all because of the possibilities within Juice Plus, which is a company that is unparalleled, I think, in terms of education and opportunity that it provides to its growing team. So we're looking to lock arms with other people and like-minded people who are really interested in health, and we want to inspire others to do the same. So thank you so much for being on this call tonight, for taking time out of a Thursday night to join us and to listen to our stories when you could be doing a lot of other things. And we hope you'll reach out to one of us or to someone that invited you if you have questions or if you want to learn more. We really appreciate you being here.
Awesome. Thank you, Courtney.